Joining us now with the breaking news report, editor-in-chief of justthenews.com, John Solomon. John, you got breaking news on this issue of classification. This could be very key in all of this.
Yeah, listen, I know the president said he declassified these documents. I've seen the statement. I spent the last week trying to understand how that happened. So first off, it's important to understand that the way the declassification is currently governed is by two executive orders, one in 2003 by President Bush, one in 2009 called 13526, President Obama. It says everybody in the government who wants to declassify a document must follow these declassification procedures, except the president and the vice president. They may declassify anything for any reason at any moment while they are the incumbent if it assists the role of their job. I am told that that is what governs the decision that President Trump did as he governed how he handled classified documents in the White House. On a daily basis, I
don't want to interrupt your report, but I want to ask one question. Is there any specific process that a president must go through? They have the right to declassify anything. Is there anything they must do to prove classification took place?
I've talked to archivists, former chiefs of staff, former staff secretaries, which are the document librarians for every president. Section 3.5 of the executive order I just mentioned, first by Bush, later by Obama, says everybody has to follow this procedure except the president and the vice president. The vice president and the president may do anything. Now, each president may have their own orderly way of doing it, so they keep track of things. But the law is pretty clear in the executive order that the president and vice president have absolute authority. I'll tell you an anecdote that occurred during the Bush years. I interviewed somebody. He was in a meeting with President Bush. He was at the secret level. That's pretty high up, but not real high. Something came in at the top secret, compartmentalized from, I think it was the Joint Chiefs of Staff, you recall. And he said, "Sir, I have to step out. I don't have the classification level." George Bush looked at him and said, "Sit down. You're cleared to hear this for the purpose of this meeting. You have TSCS for the rest of this meeting. Sit down." The president can do that. The president can tell something to a foreign leader without going through any review. And I had a president tell me this recently. I told this to a foreign leader on the fly. I didn't have to go through the classification process. But let me tell you what we have tonight. I had been told since February when this dispute came, a lot of people don't understand there was a standing order. What's the standing order? I kept asking, what's the standing order? Tonight, President Trump, through his official office in Mar-a-Lago, has provided this show here in Just the News the following statement. I apologize for looking down, but I have to. It's so fresh, it's on my phone. It literally just came in. This is from President Trump's office. It just came in a few minutes ago. As we can all relate to, everyone ends up having to bring home their work from time to time. American presidents are no different. President Trump, in order to prepare the work the next day, often took documents, including classified documents, to the residence. He had a standing order. There's the word I've been looking for. That documents removed from the Oval Office and taken to the residence were deemed to be declassified the moment he removed them. The power to classify and declassify documents rests solely with the President of the United States. The idea that some paper-pushing bureaucrat with classification authority delegated by the President needs to approve that the classification is absurd. I asked around over the last couple of days inside the government. The same with the FBI. If they asked about what the president did to declassify, everyone came up with this blank stare. Tonight, the president is confirming the process he used in his White House. If he took a document from someone, had the Oval Office, sent the person responsible for that document home, took the document into the Oval Office, he ordered that it would be declared declassified. Under the executive orders, and I'm sure you'll have legal experts on later on to talk about this, the order is pretty clear. The president is exempt from the normal way that you declassify documents.
And I know you probably spoke with numerous people that were aware of that policy. How many people confirmed that?
Not many in the Trump. There are a few people that I have talked to that said that I'm not going to dispute that. That's what went on. I can't talk much because there's an ongoing investigation. It may not have been known by a lot of people. Most likely a chief of staff, maybe the staff secretary might know, because remember, the staff secretary.
But there are people that did confirm it for you.
They did. It wasn't just the president's statement. I've heard this for about, well, actually first in February, but didn't mean much to me in the last few days. It now makes a lot more sense. Now we'll have to find out who else knew about it. I'm sure the FBI is in the process of doing that. But at least now we have the president's account, not leaked stories in the Washington Post and New York Times. We have the president's direct account. We asked the question, how did you declassify him? He's answered that tonight.
John Solomon, great reporting, editor-in-chief, justthenews.com.